public? Wasn't?
Not that specifically was public.
No.
The information was public.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, we'll just go through the Ben Nintz highlights of the weekend. We'll just have
we got him fired up. We got him queued up. Anyway, hello. It is Pick Central, Barstool's daily gambling show, coming to you on the heels of what I consider the greatest weekend of playoff football in the history of the National Football League. Still kind of buzzing off that. I don't think we need to talk about anything other than what we just saw this weekend. Smitty is back. Big Ev is in his chair. Mintz is in his chair, and Marty, it looks like they just wrapped up with Tyler Cameron. They just wrapped up Mush the Lion across the hall. There's Tyler Cameron, and there is Marty Mush. So he will ease in here as soon as his man crush leaves, and we'll talk gambling. Oh, there we go. Oh, isn't that sweet? Isn't that nice?
It's adorable. Can I take a picture with him, or he refuse?
What are you talking about?
You need a picture with Tyler Cameron? Go get it.
I'm okay right now.
Okay.
God, he's handsome.
He's a good looking chat.
Oh, Tyler Cameron. I thought you were talking about Smitty. Hey, Marty.
How are we?
How was it? You went an hour on that show?
It's a long one, yeah.
How good was it?
It was good.
Good.
Jerry and him are friends, so that's why it was. Jerry got him in trouble a long time ago, so it was funny.
Oh, wow.
There's Stephen Shea.
Sad sack.
Dead man walking.
The Bucs jacket.
I mean, how do you wear a Bucs jacket the next day?
Well, he's a Bucs fan.
I respect it.
I respect that too. He's a
Still
Bucs
the
fan.
defending Super Bowl champs.
When my team loses, they're dead until next season.
Not true. That's not true. I've seen you wear Duke stuff after Duke lost.
Yeah, it's true.
I've seen you do that.
I've been in that situation. It's not fun though when you wear it.
No, it's not fun. But you know what? He's taking it on the chin, and anytime your worst defeat or a terrible defeat like that is on camera, it's just you gotta live with it. Whatever. You won a Super Bowl with the guy. It's over. It's fine.
True.
They had no business even having a chance next.
He's got a Super Bowl. Look, Marty. He's got a Super Bowl champs hoodie underneath that.
See, that's what he's got to milk for the next 3 weeks.
Come sit down.
I got to go to the thing in a second. Yeah, I mean, it was the worst defeat of my life. I'll never forget it. The Rams did everything they could to give it away.
Everything they could.
6 possessions in a row.
Yeah, your tweet, Steven, was really sad. Like I was like the amount of things that the Rams did wrong, and it was like still lost.
But here's the thing. I was going to talk about this in a minute, but since he's here, I think the most gut-wrenching loss in sports is losing after a giant comeback. Because in the third quarter, he wasn't happy, but he was fine. He was going to deal with it, and then he had no hope, and they gave him hope.
And I had all the hope.
You had all the hope, and everything was going because you get to overtime, you're going to win the game.
Yes.
Yep.
And it did. It just. Why is Zal laughing so hard?
I'm sorry.
Devastating.
Zal's not a good guy to have on your team.
It's tough to swallow. I was despondent for hours after the game.
Did you do a lot of film work, right?
Yeah.
Would you have maybe schemed something up to cover Cooper Kupp?
I would have done an umbrella coverage.
To
just
it gives you the actual coverage.
Well, yeah, you just tackle the guy in bounds, like
right.
Let him get 30 yards, just tackle him in balance, and then they Hail Mary. Like, who cares?
There's 2 guys you got to worry about in that situation. One's Cooper Kupp. One's Odell Beckham, but one's Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, I think blitzing Cooper Kupp's guy.
Maybe you should run where Cooper Kupp runs.
Jefferson could have snuck one in there.
Maybe, but I Jefferson beats me. I'm okay. Cooper Kupp, Cooper Kupp, the guy who led in everything. All right, Stephen. You'll get it on the yak, I'm sure.
I'm glad to see you know how it feels,
and
Stephen, after all the Saints ones through the years.
I don't know why you had to do that.
Because what he's done to our fan base. Oh,
I'd say I'm getting my hair cut tomorrow. It looks like shit. I know. All right, game by game though. Before we even get to that, can anybody here remember a day of football or 2 days of football better than that?
No.
Not 2 days.
Those 2 games feel like they turned the Titans-Bengals game into a snoozer.
Right. Yeah, that's exactly.
I don't even want to talk about that. We can obviously.
We're going to, but okay. So
that game's feels like it was whatever.
4 divisional games. All 4 were decided on the final play of the game.
Incredible.
All 4. 3 of them on kicks and then 1 on the touchdown in overtime. I think the main game we should talk about is in fact the game last night, which I think is one of the best games I've ever seen.
Has to be.
It just from a primetime perspective, from a quarterback perspective, 2 quarterbacks at the height of their powers, like Brady, the greatest of all time. But that Brady version yesterday, he wasn't very good. I mean, he was okay. These 2 quarterbacks are at the top of their game. These were the top 2 quarterbacks in the league dueling it out. In the last 2 minutes, Buffalo and Kansas City is some of the greatest football I've ever seen.
There's nothing better when it's an act like that's obviously the game everyone's looking forward to, and it actually lives up to the hype.
Right.
Because like I feel like the Texans and the Jaguars play a game like that, it's like good for them.
Right.
But like that game was unbelievable, and I think Big Cat said it's like it always was a joke to say Mahomes. You left too much time for Mahomes. There's no more joke. And I said it on the stream yesterday. I was like, when they kicked that to. When the Bills kicked it, I was
they didn't
like,
squib it. You said something.
why didn't they pooch it to the 5? Because everyone's like, you could fair catch it, but that doesn't matter. Like, it's still on the 5 then instead of the 25 with 13 seconds left. And you pooch that, 3 seconds, 4 seconds is a huge deal to that.
Yeah.
And they didn't obviously think of that in the time, but there's literally, no matter how much time is left, you cannot leave it for Patrick Mahomes.
No, the amount of time.
Or Josh Allen, honestly.
There is no amount of time that is not enough for Patrick Mahomes. 13 seconds. 13 seconds and goes right. And the fact that they had coached that game to have timeouts in that moment is
that's also
is
true.
big,
Let's
too.
calm down on the Patrick Mahomes ball watching for a second. Awesome, amazing, of course, but Tyreek Hill is an absolute freak.
Oh,
Not only on the last drive, but that 65-yarder. Also, should he have gone down at the 1 with a minute left on that 65-yard
Yeah, I thought about it.
touchdown?
They were still down 3, and they kind of they'd had some trouble on some short yardage stuff. So
I
think down 3 you got to score.
I don't think so, but
I think down 4 you score. Down 3, I don't know. I think about it.
if I'm a Chiefs fan, I just get terrified at the 10-yard line when he throws up the deuces. Like these trigger-happy refs, man.
That's sick.
I was that
The touchdown would have counted, though.
It would have counted, but still, it just.
But also, Buckner left 4 points on the table at that point.
He
He was an automatic last night.
There was a lot of things. Butker.
Yeah,
There you go.
Close.
Butker. Not really. But it was in the last 2 minutes of the game. I think there were 25 points scored from the 2-minute warning on, or something like that. There were a whole lot of points. Patrick Mahomes, and I know. To me, it would have been more interesting if the Bills had won. I wish we were waking up in a world where the Bills had won. To me, just seeing the Buffalo fan base.
It's
and
not
seeing,
fair that people in Buffalo have to go to work today. It should be a day of mourning. In
Correct.
Buffalo.
Correct. And Josh Allen did everything he could, and we're going to talk about Josh Allen. But after the 2-minute warning of the fourth quarter, Patrick Mahomes was 10 of 13 for 188 yards and 2 touchdowns. That's after the 2-minute warning. And as great as Josh Allen was, and as much as it sucks that he didn't get a chance in overtime, and that was his coming out party of like, I am one of the best in the league, Patrick Mahomes is still that dude. He's still the guy.
He is, but I mean, Tyreek Hill.
It was
Exploded after a catch.
Patty check downs.
Patty check down, getting it done.
I mean, Hardman basically took a screen pass and went fucking like.
But
They all were like the.
so let me ask you a question though, because I had this thought during the game, because I honestly we were obviously the Patty check down.
I was trolling, but
trolling me.
Yeah.
But
Got
no,
aroused.
but like their game plan is usually to fucking air it out, but these teams know they had to do that. No.
Yeah, and they adjusted. That's why they were 3 and 4, because the defenses were taking away Hill and all the deep stuff, and then they've reinvented themselves, and they're 11 and 1 in their last 12.
But he also makes Brian Pringle, a 8th wide receiver on any other team, look amazing.
Yeah.
Your wrestler got taller.
Yeah, he did.
I didn't know you were here. No, I understand. Hey, buddy. Wow, he got thicker too.
Taller and bigger.
Why is he so big? Oh, look at him and Spider.
Oh my god!
like
can't see Spider.
Like 2 different species.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey, that's not a wrestler. That's Thor.
right. Spider's a grown man. Okay. All right. We'll get to him in a minute. I didn't know he was getting here so early. Anyway, Josh Allen, though. You talk about checkdowns or whatever. This guy was throwing rifle shots,
Darts.
35, 40 yards down the
Fucking
field.
lasers.
I mean, that throw, and the route was incredible. The route where he twisted.
Gabriel fucking
Yeah,
Davis.
204, 4 TDs.
But the fucking throw, he was standing at the 38-yard line and throws a bullet that hits him and knocks him backwards.
If you put like a target, he would have hit the red dot with the point.
He
of
would have hit the
football.
red dot and would have broke the red dot.
Yeah,
I mean,
Not only
Every
that,
throw.
but the 60-yarder, 70-yarder
Yeah.
to Gabriel
the
Davis.
first deep one was a fucking dime.
That ball went like 70 yards, 60 yards in the air. It didn't go above like 20 feet.
No.
It
was a
just was a
laser.
fucking bullet.
In a quarterback league, last night was a fucking delight. It was
Josh Allen literally played like a perfect game last night.
It's very,
literally a perfect game.
It's extremely sad as an Eagles fan to try to convince yourself that Jalen Hurts, a running back playing quarterback, is a good enough quarterback to win in this league, and then watch that game.
No, it's almost like what we just saw, like Spider and him being a different species. Like Josh Allen and Mahomes are different species of quarterbacks on a lot of the guys in the league.
Yeah,
so, even some of the guys that are looked at as good, like, and I know I said it earlier, but Tom Brady, great quarterback, all-time great, but
the mobility.
Him yesterday and them, that's two totally different products.
Take away Tom Brady too, like a person of their pretty much their like Justin Herbert.
Yes.
Everyone
Dak,
says
how about
they're
Dak?
great.
Dak,
Yeah.
They don't
Both
play
of
the
them.
same. Yeah.
Both of them. They're good quarterbacks,
Yeah.
but that's not in the same league.
No.
And I mean, what we're not even talking about too is this the 2-point conversion. Like when a quarterback
Oh,
runs
God.
around like that, it's like
was
you
a
know
Madden
it's
play.
over. It's over. Like
Yeah.
that's not happening. And then it was fucking an unbelievable throw. And like when he's hyping up everyone on the sidelines too, he's a likable guy too. It's
He did
fucking
that on the
unbelievable.
4th and 4 as well. Had to shimmy around a couple people and scramble.
I had one take about Mahomes. Mahomes is the best quarterback in the league. Josh Allen is right behind him, in my opinion.
Thank
I
you.
don't know about that.
I think that.
Dude,
Mahomes
I
might
don't
go to
know.
his
I
third
mean,
Super
Mahomes
Bowl.
is still.
You can't.
But you got to put your
guys.
like the team like.
No,
Dude,
you.
Mahomes-
But I'm saying a coin flip, it's the other way, and you're having a different conversation.
Yeah.
Like, don't. That's
Dude, Josh
I
Allen.
think that's
Josh
stupid.
Allen
Like,
had
he's-
almost more
think you
touchdown
are.
passes than incompletions.
I mean, no, they were dead even last night. They were both great. I still think Mahomes, just to me, body of work is still just a little better.
I don't know. I'm body work career wise, yes, of course. But right now,
Josh
going into next season, I think it's a debate worth having.
I don't.
I take.
And I
Josh
take
Allen
I
you.
think
now.
it's 1A, 1B.
I would blow.
I don't think it's.
Well,
whatever.
that's. I think it's more like 1A, like. I think they're the same.
You
I think
it's clear
literally the-
1-1-2.
No, that's what I'm saying. The opposite. I'm
Look,
saying it's
Josh
not a
Allen.
clear
Josh
1-2.
Allen. He has Diggs. Okay. He threw 4 touchdown passes to Gabriel Davis. Mahomes still has Kelsey. He still has Tyreek Hill. And yes, he makes everyone look better. Clearly has more proficient talent than Josh
That is
Allen.
hard. It's a tough argument. 'Cause
Better
I know what you
offensive
mean.
coaching, too.
I know what you mean, but like that's not his fault.
Yeah.
I
Like
need-
that's his team. Like he got drafted there and he's there. It's like what's
I need to talk about this for a second. The Chiefs won, and all credit to Andy Reid, 4th best playoff coach in history now, awesome Hall of Famer as a head coach. That 3rd and 1 call on the most important 3rd and 1, where he puts a 3rd-string tight end under center and run an option
yeah.
play
The near
to the short side of the
side,
field.
yeah.
Sometimes, as an Eagles fan, after putting up with that for 12 years, you forget just like, oh, Andy Reid, awesome coach, but what the fuck, man? That brought back so many PTSD memories. So many.
Yeah.
He did not deserve to win the game based on that play call.
Well, yeah, but the Bills coach didn't squib kick. Like
Well,
he
he's
made
part
some
of the
mistakes.
Andy Reid coaching tree.
Okay, so you saw Andy Reid's about to possibly play in his 3rd straight Super Bowl.
Amazing coach, but I mean, shit like
And
that
Mahomes
just
is too.
so frustrating, and I put up with it for so long that it just took me right back.
I think that's just your Philliness wanting to find the negative and a positive.
No, I love Andy Reid. I think he's a great guy. I think he's a great coach. But you have Patrick Mahomes, you have Tyreek Hill, you have these explosive players, and you put your fucking 3rd-string tight end under center to run an option play on the most important 3rd down of the year. They score there, the game's over.
So
I didn't even realize that at first it wasn't Kelsey.
Yeah, at least put Kelsey there.
Yeah, like I was like I saw a big white guy with 80 something. I was like, oh, it's gotta be him.
I have a quick Mahomes question for y'all. Why is it because of his brother and his girl? Like I feel like everybody's turned on Mahomes. Mahomes went from like loved his first year or two to now everybody hates
well,
him.
he's
don't
because he's
think
won
that-
3 years.
It's like
I don't
Steph
think
Curry
that-
kind of went through a similar thing.
Bills have won. First of all, the Bills are just a way more likable team because it's the fans, and just
The
them.
4 Super Bowl
But
losses.
like,
Plus
I don't,
you have
I don't
Mahomes'
think
family.
anyone's-
That's what I said.
I don't think anyone really doesn't like Mahomes. I think it's just his family.
I think it's more just the byproduct that he's this is his 3rd Super Bowl in a row possibly, and
Yeah.
he's winning. And Buffalo would have been a shot of something new, and they haven't been there in a long time. I like both of them. I like Mahomes. I like Allen. I like Buffalo. I
You
like
are
the
right
Chiefs.
though. People do get annoyed with when like.
They don't like when
The
you win
cat,
too
like
much.
when the Lakers, I mean, when the Heat are always in the fucking
Yeah.
NBA Finals, it's like, all right.
I felt like it was
Alabama.
like Steph when Golden State took off at the beginning. It was like everybody was so blown away,
Yeah.
but by the end of it, everybody was like anti.
Yeah.
It kind of seems like that all over again.
The Braves win the World Series. It's just nice to see something different.
Yeah.
Mahomes, like, TD to interception ratio at home is, what, 21-1?
And
I mean,
I think it was 20-1 going into last
a
year.
lot of talk
in the
about this
playoffs.
being a rivalry now, and if this is a rivalry, I hope they play every year in the playoffs.
Yeah, me too.
And I hope Buffalo takes care of their business more in the regular season and kind of host it, and they go back and forth.
that's what happens when you go down to Jacksonville and lose.
Yeah, Sure, it is.
Exactly.
But they have nobody to blame but themselves. And the overtime rules, the overtime rules are what they are. I don't really – it sucks. I would like to see them, but the overtime rules are what they are. And the Chiefs got fucked by it when they lost to the Patriots a couple years ago, and it just came back to them. So maybe it'll come back to Buffalo eventually.
No, I just think for me, like when I make a take, like they should change it. Like obviously last night is what like stirs the conversation. I just think it should be like that, period.
It's the only –
I don't think that like
it's the only league in sports – that you don't get a chance equally.
Right.
Like, that's it. It's the only league out there.
Yeah, in basketball, you just play more basketball. In hockey, you just play more hockey. In baseball, both teams get a turn at bat. And
not even like same sport, college.
And college,
high school,
college football.
Like you get a chance.
Yeah, and I think high schools across the nation the same.
10-yard line.
line.
10-yard line.
And then the 25-yard line in college.
I think NFL do like 50 or
I
something.
think the 40 or the 50. Yeah, I don't know why you don't do that. I really don't.
I hope this maybe finally changes it. Because someone brought up a tweet from when it happened to the Chiefs 2 years ago. Because I remember as a fan that leaving a sour taste in my mouth too.
But how long
watching the Patriots win again, Mahomes doesn't get a chance with the ball.
KC tried to change it.
No, that's what I was going to say. They petitioned for it and it got denied. Maybe
what
this
is
time,
the logical reason for keeping it the way it is? What's the NFL's excuse?
They're dinosaurs.
Like safety?
I don't know.
Because 70-year-olds running it. They're
it
dinosaurs.
can't be safety.
Yeah, exactly. There's no logical reason why it's this way.
They're just old and don't want change.
All right, so we can move on to other games. There's 3 other games that we can talk about before we just talk about it. TJ, you got that picture? This is just a fun little aside. I was just dicking around on Facebook this weekend, and I noticed a friend from Mississippi, a friend of mine, looked very much like a Barstool Sports employee, very much. And I want you guys to guess. And I want to go through. This is my friend Blake. He owns Del Mar's great milkshake place in Manatee, Mississippi. Fantastic. And I just noticed this weekend.
Where's Manatee?
It's between Tupelo and Fulton, Ben. Okay. Keep up. If you were from Mississippi, you'd know that.
Fair enough.
So here we go. Just anybody want to guess who he looks like?
Bro, that's you.
Bro.
That guy owns a milkshake shop?
Yeah.
The Yankees.
I've never seen
The Yankees fitted is unreal.
I've never seen anything like this.
The way he's even takes the picture, you take pictures.
what is? He's got your same face.
I don't know what to say.
You can't. His mustache too, like goes over a little bit. It's like
I've never seen.
He's caught me at a perfect time. I'm not groomed quite as I like.
That's
incredible.
That's my friend
Unreal.
Blake. And then I never noticed it. I saw his picture. I'm like, my God, I work with him every day.
That's incredible.
That's so because I guess fitteds have kind of went outside. I used to wear Yankees fitted forward quite often. Quite often.
Do you still have that same guy who goes around pretending that
All right,
he's
thank you.
in Hoboken and Jersey Shore?
There's like a menace that in the Jersey area that just like runs amok in bars and just like says he's me.
What?
It's happened to me like 3 separate times.
What?
Smitty had an encounter.
Yeah, I got a text.
Sounds like a good excuse.
sounds like someone blacked out. This menace
Maybe he got kicked out of a casino once.
Seattle City, where I've never been in my life. Then I'm literally sitting on my couch in Hoboken, and Funny Anthony's like, "Are you at DJ's right now?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "There's some guy there saying he's you, like acting like a total asshole." He goes, yeah, I'm like, "Guy, I'm in Hoboken. It's not me."
I think it's
he's
Fat
like,
Anthony.
He's like, "All right, no, it's Funny Anthony. Stop it."
It's Fat Anthony.
Respect.
He's like, "I'm gonna have to go down there and crack some skulls."
I don't know why that just amused me greatly when I saw it yesterday. So moving on. Last night, one of the greatest games ever. And the fact that the Rams and Bucs wasn't the best game of the day is shocking and wild and incredible, but it wasn't. And I don't know, man. I just watched the Rams and the Bucs, and thank God the Rams won. That's my opinion. Because if the Rams had lost that game, we would have been the legend of Tom Brady, the comeback. Tom Brady made one great throw, and it was incredible. Great throw.
Yep.
That was less a comeback and more a collapse.
Oh, completely.
It's almost
completely.
a joke. It's
Big
almost
time.
a joke that they didn't, like Tom didn't win that. They
Right.
kept giving him chances, and I'm so happy you're right because if we just would have heard so much shit like, "Oh, Tom Brady did it again."
Yeah.
28-3 was it 27-3?
27-3,
It's
yeah.
like we would have heard the same fucking shit.
Tom Brady forced the Cam Akers fumble, and
Exactly.
Ramsey getting torched. And
A 47-yard field goal coming up short.
Yeah.
When does that happen in the NFL?
And we all
Me
celebrated.
and Marty fist bumped it. I literally said out loud, I said, "Drilled it."
Yeah.
I thought he got it too.
I just saw it floating in the air accurately. I'm 47. I'm not even thinking about the fact that it could be short.
Well, he was injured pregame, wasn't he? Something like that.
That I don't know, but when I was watching it and when I watched the field goal, when the ref did this, I'm like, My eyes.
I was like, what the fuck?
What? What's he talking about? That was dead down the middle.
Especially for Rams, like me and Marty had +3. We were like the only guys in the whole room that were on Rams.
So
that would have made it 3 possessions.
It's 27-3. First of all, it's 20-3 in the first half. Cam Akers fumbles at the 1.
Yep.
Then Cam Akers fumbles again late in the game to give him life. Cooper Kupp fumbles.
Yep.
The center snaps it right after Brady had given up the ball. Right after Brady, the center snaps it 35 yards backwards. And when do you see that? 4 fumbles. Not interceptions, fumbles. Gives Tampa a chance.
And all lost.
But then they do everything. They do the hard work. They get back. 27-27. Tampa's going crazy. You get to overtime. Brandon Walker in New Jersey's got a $100 slip on overtime, and boy, it would have been a great fucking day. But you let Cooper Kupp go. Cooper Kupp.
Let me tell you.
Who led the NFL in everything
You had that
this
too?
year.
Overtime?
I did.
Jerry
had
did too.
plus 900 for the Bucs, plus 400 Bucs, and overtime would have been like
plus 2,200 overtime.
crazy.
Should have ran umbrella coverage.
I should have ran the umbrella
I'll tell you
coverage.
what a throw by Stafford too.
That was a great
That
throw.
was a fucking
I am
in the
two
bucket.
great throws.
I am
In
happy
the
for
bucket.
Stafford.
I am too.
I'm happy that it's
'Cause he
not
would-
just like, oh, we could.
Do you trust him next week?
Against Garoppolo, like,
But
who do you
like,
trust?
but it-
I mean, the
but it wasn't
49ers
his
are just those
mistakes.
stubborn bastards.
Well,
But,
They won't go away.
look at all those Rams. None of them were Stafford's fault. Literally none of them.
No.
They all were fumbles that he had nothing to do with.
Yeah.
I'm more just happy where it's like it because they Goff, whatever. They finally get rid of him. It's like, oh, is he going to be the guy? He hasn't played any big games. Like, no, he just fucking played unbelievable this game. And you're right, he didn't do anything wrong.
That's what people were trying to make it a Stafford thing. I was like, he did not have any hand in any of those mistakes.
Well, actually, if they do beat the Niners, it will be one of these rare cases where a radical offseason rebuild works.
Yeah.
And I guess the Bucs it worked last year.
Is this
It
it didn't ever happen ever, right? Besides last year, the Bucs being home for the Super Bowl, and
Right,
then
it's
now
gonna
it's
happen
2 in
again.
a
It's
row.
gonna
It'd be
happen
fucking
again.
crazy.
Got to mention on the Rams thing, Vaughn Miller turning back time. I thought that. Remember the 15 AFC Championship game with what he did to Brady and the Pats. I felt like I was rewatching that 7 years
Eric
later.
Weddle
I mean,
forgot
if the
rules.
Rams
Miller
have,
was unreal.
If the Rams have that pass rush, they're going to be tough to beat.
I mean, first of all, Aaron Donald is not fair.
Oh,
You shouldn't
cheat
be
code.
allowed to have an Aaron Donald.
Cheat code.
And then if Vaughn Miller is going to be any semblance of Vaughn Miller, I don't know how you block him.
Yeah.
How you fucking block him?
You can't. And I mean, it was funny. Ramsey was like, took what's his name off of Evans, and it's like, I'm gonna do this, and Evans burned.
Yeah.
Immediately,
And then also got to mention Odell. I remember everybody thought, like Odell's in the wrong with Mayfield and that side.
Actually,
of
now that I'm thinking about it, this Rams team is almost a carbon copy of the Bucs last year. They went out and they got a quarterback,
Yeah.
and they went out and got a receiver that everybody thought was a malcontent, good, and Antonio Brown, which I know how it ended, but he helped them win a Super Bowl last
definitely.
year.
No
and,
doubt about it.
What a tweet!
and oh my God.
I thought I asked Big O, I was like, "This is real?"
I was like,
thought
no,
it
that's
was
real.
Photoshop.
I was like, that's fucking real.
It's fucking unbelievable.
So why would AB have a problem with the Bucs players? Why are you shitting on their grave?
I think that's
No,
just
well, he's
coach.
I think more partly too. He's just kind of like a selfish guy.
no. What?
I'm saying break it down for real. I try to give him the real benefit of the doubt with because there's the one long interview he did. Some people took some of the stuff he said about Brady out of context. I felt, but the one thing was like held true. He definitely was like obviously big selfish Mr. Me guy. So I think just the fact that he wasn't on the team and they lost, that was him like being like, fuck you.
All right,
Like,
now
should have kept me.
there was a debate we had earlier in the season. I'm ready to put it to bed. I was on this side, and you guys said other guys. Cooper Kupp is the best receiver in football, period, done, end of sentence. I don't care if anybody's more talented. I don't care if anybody has a better body. Cooper Kupp's the best receiver in
I
football.
still don't believe that.
He is.
Tyreek's got to be right there too.
Oh man,
And
I
Adams-
guess, but
Adams
Cooper
in
Kupp
there,
is
too.
Cooper Kupp led in receptions, touchdowns, first down, everything you could lead in, he led in, and then with the season on the line, he is the guy that went back there and got behind the defense. He is the guy that called it.
I think you could say he's the most complete receiver. He can do everything.
I don't see how you
He
can't
can do
say he's the best. He is the best receiver in football right
I mean,
now.
I think that is saying he's the best. He can do he can do everything.
Every number
Slot,
says he's
deep
the best.
ball,
too.
He can run routes. He catches everything. I mean, he can do everything. Throw him a fade,
I think
back
he's second.
shoulder.
Okay, here's a
I think
he's second.
I think Tyreek Hill is better.
here's a fair comparison since they're both white guys. Wes Welker during his prime, would you call him the best wide receiver in the NFL, or a victim of circumstance, or benefit of circumstance?
I
just don't think Cooper Kupp is a benefit of circumstance to the level that Wes Welker
Yeah,
was.
I think Hope.
I always think Kupp is more complete. Like Wes Welker was a legit slot. Like Kupp's like a legit like
'Cause they
X
took-
and a Y. He can do everything.
They took other guys after Welker and just plugged them right in and were fine. I don't think you could plug. I mean,
No.
Cooper Kupp's a number one receiver. He's not. He's dominating on the outside. He's dominating every way, shape, and form.
Yep.
And when the game was on the line, the Bucs have no reason to lose the number one receiver in football. And
on both plays.
Right.
He made both catches.
And you still think you would say Tyreek Hill's the best, Marty?
I think so because Tyreek Hill's also been he's been the best. Cooper Kupp has been good, but this year he's came on top. Like he is the best receiver maybe this year. But Tyreek Hill, like I've said before, does more to a defense than when he doesn't have the ball too.
That
It's
punt
just that
return,
when
too. You give punt return.
Punt return as
And just
well.
when he's taking like 10-yard crosses for 70.
One thing on the Bucs game, I like to think I know the rules of football. I've been watching 42 years.
Yeah.
Okay. When Eric Weddle hits Mike Evans after or right when the play ends, and because the ball had hit the ground, that's now a dead ball foul. Instead of no, that happened within the action of the play. That absolutely happened. What?
I mean, I called that out in real time.
You called that out?
I did. I swear. I
So after
called
the
it-
play?
Because the ball had hit the ground before the hit.
Yeah.
Because me and PFT, we went back and forth. I said, say it had hit Mike Evans' chest
Right.
and bounced straight up in the air,
Right.
and then Weddle smoked him, it's a first down for Tampa. The fact that he swatted it straight down, so the ball had already touched the ground. The second the ball hits the ground, the play's over.
Here's
It
a
was
question.
fourth- it was
Here's a
fourth
question.
down.
What if the ball was?
I understand what happened. You're just explaining to me what happened.
Yeah. What
But
if,
I'm saying the ball hit the ground, so the play is dead. Then he hits him.
what if the
it's
ball?
after the play.
What if the ball is 2 inches off the ground? So technically still a live ball.
Yes.
Good.
It's good.
Okay.
Tampa
So the
first
thing
down.
is,
That's
in
wild.
my opinion, I think it's stupid too because I think that there's a penalty,
Yeah.
15 yards. I think no matter what, they should get the first down because unless it was 4th and 17, you know what I mean? Like I think that they should get it. I had the Rams yesterday, so I was like, great call. But I think no matter what, being able to lay him out after that when he was not even close with the ball should be a first down Bucs.
No, I think if I'm a DB, I'm going to start batting balls down, just knocking the fuck out of somebody around.
yeah,
Also,
exactly.
4th down.
I kind of don't think it was like that illegal of a hit.
I didn't think so either. I
That's
thought
true. That's
I
true.
thought
Like he just smoked him. I mean, it was
Right.
like the play was bang bang. Like the reason it hit the ground so fast was because the way Evans hit, he kind of just like swatted straight down.
right.
Like he just came in. It was a good shot.
Yeah, I thought the hit wasn't all that egregious at all. But
Oh, it was
anyway,
helmet contact made it look a lot worse than it was.
yeah, I guess. All right, I guess that's all from that game. Saturday, which ordinarily would have been the best weekend or day of the weekend, was not. It was two pretty routine games. We'll start with the Saturday night game, and it is finally time. And I know Twitter got aflame because of Rodgers' COVID views and all that. And I don't get into all that. I don't give a fuck if he got a shot or not. I really don't care. But I do care that Aaron Rodgers' accomplishments on the field, it's about time we just realize they're way behind. He's got one Super Bowl. And he keeps getting to the playoffs as the number one seed. He keeps earning that how often do we say, "Oh shit, the playoffs go through Lambeau," and it doesn't matter at all. They choke every single time. Like the guy's a playoff choker at this point.
The Niners had 100%. I mean, it was tough for them. Just getting like the Niners were the worst draw for them probably stylistically, and they just.
You say that.
10 points, though.
The fact that
but
they-
let me finish. I'm saying that was what I was gonna say, but you can't like when you score 10 points at home, you can't really sit and like defend them too much. Like you lose if you lost like 30-27, I might be like, okay, like they scored some points, moved the ball, things didn't go their way. You scored 10. I mean, you got sacked a million times. They didn't move the ball like a ton.
Sitting the Josh Allen thing.
They just
at all.
they just did. He didn't show up.
Aaron Rodgers
show
and the
up.
Packers should be embarrassed, especially after they drove down the field to make it 7-0 like the first minute of the game.
Exactly.
And then nothing.
Exactly.
Nothing.
I mean, you say the Niners were the worst draw for them, and that's fine. I'm
saying they've had their last few years. Like they've beat them in these spots.
That's fine, but the Rams, the Rams would have smoked them too. I mean, I don't think they were just going to get smoked.
No, I agree. I mean, that's why I think that like the two pass rushes in the NFC came up big. Like that was both what I think ended up like winning them each game.
I mean, Jimmy G had 0 yards until the fucking like third quarter.
Jimmy-
almost.
They didn't score an offensive touchdown.
Jimmy G's just winning playoff games.
I love Jimmy G, man.
They
Good
didn't
for him.
score
You
on
see the Robbie
offense.
Gold thing? Who went up to him like, "You're an effing legend,
Yeah.
man."
Good for Jimmy G, because that's an argument. Like, how can you argue when he like kind of does win?
He's the real Teddy Bridgewater of gambling.
Yeah,
The guy
it's
just
like,
covers spreads. He
I don't know
wins games.
obviously, he's not the most talented quarterback in the world, but hey, he kind of
He blocked that. He blocked that punt in the end zone.
But like,
Yeah, but still, it's like he's still winning.
like career highlights for Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes will include these fourth quarter throws and these touchdowns. Career highlights for Jimmy Garoppolo on the Super Bowl tape will be him reacting to a blocked punt.
Yeah.
Him with a baseball hat on. We did it, guys.
Him throwing his jacket off on the bench with a beanie.
But listen, special teams. The Packers, and I don't know how you rank special teams. I really don't. But whoever ranked special teams went back and said, going into the playoffs, the 32nd best special teams unit in the playoffs or in the league were the Green Bay Packers. And it got them beat. Mm-hmm. It got them beat.
Blocked field goal before the half, too.
Because I would say, like, Hubbs is a Packers fan. He was on the stream with us. He was saying it from, like, first quarter.
Yeah, he did.
He was like, special teams will be, if we lose, it'll be special teams.
Because
he called it out. He did.
Every punt he goes, just catch it, just catch it, just
Yep,
catch
he's
it.
like,
I'm
just don't
Christ,
muff it.
you all right?
I don't know that I didn't notice it in the regular season.
I didn't know either.
And
He's
so
like,
true.
I'm telling you, bro.
Especially with Amari Rodgers back there, every time he was like, please, just clean. Like, I don't want to return. Just catch it and move on.
That's such a shitty place to be as a football fan of a team where you're just like, when punts and kicks happen, you're just scared that this could change everything.
Shout out Jalen Reagor.
Shout out to okay.
It's wild that how much
Justin Jefferson catches those punts.
the Green Bay's defense improved so much this year. I mean, like, to improve that much and still, I mean, there was an effort.
They played fucking. They didn't allow a touchdown.
No, they were great.
The run
played
and the
fucking
run D
great.
was tough too against Steiner.
But
Oh, man.
okay, Deebo.
Unreal.
Deebo. I mean, it's just
Special.
a fucking football player.
cool.
Special.
When it's 3rd and 7, all right, and they got one offensive weapon that really they feel like can beat you. I know Kittle's good too, but they got one weapon that can beat you. They line him up in the backfield, and frankly, it wasn't blocked that well, and he just figured out a way to get 7 yards. Like
He's
Deebo,
unbelievable.
he's a great football player.
It's just rare to see like a guy who's like I think can legit be like an outside receiver and he can run between the tackles.
Oh, well, that's – I think – and I love this. That's where football's going. It's just getting the ball in your best athlete's hands any way
he's
possible.
special.
You see
Cordell
it with him, with
Patterson,
Cordell Patterson. I mean, I even
Bengals are
put
doing it with Chase too.
Yeah, I'd even put Tyreek Hill in the backfield.
I don't know why it doesn't happen more often because I remember
Why not?
when Urban Meyer was at Florida, he put Percy Harvin in the backfield.
Yeah.
Get him the fucking ball.
I mean, even Belichick with Aaron Hernandez.
Yeah, it seems like it ought to happen a lot more than it does, but we get into specialization and we get into like this. Yeah, Tyreek Hill's a great example. If Tyreek
Like, why wouldn't you be giving Tyreek Hill every opportunity to touch
not
the
only
ball?
just Tyreek Hill, like you can give him the ball there, but just throw him the ball in the flat out of the running
you
back
saw him
position.
on the punt return.
Imagine
Like, he just made everything out of nothing.
imagine a halfback wheel route with Tyreek Hill on a linebacker or something.
Why not?
Like that would be terrifying. Oh man, what a great.
Percy Harvin was the first guy to kind of do that in this resurgence of.
Yeah, well, there were. If you go back further in the SEC, I go a little deeper. Like David Palmer. in
No, but
Alabama
Percy
used to do
Harvin
it.
in the NFL, he also was in the backfield,
yeah.
just kind of doing everything.
Yeah, was he? He didn't win Super Bowl MVP, did he?
No, he returned a
No.
kick.
He
though.
returned a
Oh,
kick.
yeah,
okay,
the
okay.
Seahawks won
Yeah,
Big
yeah,
Brown.
yeah.
He punched Golden Tate in the face.
Did he? I don't remember that.
Yeah, it was a big thing. That's why they didn't like him. He snuffed him bad.
Percy Harvin was a lot smaller than Golden Tate. Seems like Golden Tate should have won that.
Golden Tate's not that big.
Well, Percy Harvin's not big at all.
He's probably a little smaller.
Smoked weed.
Percy Harvin lost to history,
Migraines, man, they're a bitch.
but I feel like
You know,
I think
above where
I think
everybody else.
returning a kick in the Super Bowl is enough to kind of
guess.
keep you around, and just being really good on those really good Florida teams.
Yeah, the Florida thing.
His career did end kind of early though.
yeah, but I don't.
And that 1 year on the Vikings.
Yeah,
he was,
09 when they
he
lost
was
the NFC Championship.
unbelievable
Yeah,
that
he was
year.
on that team too.
The mid 2000s has a ton of college football legends and stars. It just you're talking about Reggie Bush had a fine career, but Vince Young, Pat White,
Tebow.
Aaron McFadden, not Darren McFadden, excuse me, just guys that were legends in college and just never really took it over to the pros.
I mean, Pat White wasn't really an NFL quarterback.
But
I'd say
that's-
Steve State.
but that's what I'm-
But
But that's exactly what I'm saying, though. I mean, just guys that just didn't translate.
Hurts. I always thought he was going to be
McFadden.
unbelievable. McFadden.
Yeah.
He kind of had a little resurgence on the Cowboys.
Yeah.
He was a 1,000-yard rusher.
That's on the. He had a couple good years on the Cowboys.
I thought
remember.
McFadden was going to be. I thought
I mean,
McFadden was going to be.
Trent Richardson busted more
Oh,
than
man.
McFadden.
I thought McFadden was going to be Adrian Peterson. I thought he was going to be
Jones.
like.
Honestly, one of my favorite running backs was Aaron Foster. I don't know why. I just thought he was so cool to watch.
Who was Darren McFadden's backfield?
Felix
Felix
Jones.
Jones and
Felix
Peyton
Jones.
Hillis.
Yeah,
who was on the
Peyton
cover of
Hillis.
Madden that time.
Did they
Yeah,
also
that was brutal.
I guess Matt Jones predated them. Did Matt Jones predate them?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
Matt
okay.
Jones was like 01 because it was that OT.
Matt
Ole Miss
Jones.
game.
But he was supposed to be a great wide receiver.
Yeah, yeah. Was he a first round pick?
No,
He
he
was
no.
for the Jags.
Second round
Was
pick?
he?
The Jags. He went to jail. Yes, he was.
Yeah.
I bet my life he was
He
a
did
first
cocaine.
round pick.
I think he was a first-round pick, too.
I'll even tell you the pick.
I wanted the Eagles to take him because
I think he might have been 18. 18th overall.
I need 2002 NFL draft. That's what we need.
I know for a fact he went in the first round. I don't know the year. I think it was 18th or like 23rd.
If you pull 18.
I'm going to stick with 18.
I think 02 checks out.
That's my gut reaction.
I like your 02 call.
I'll look it up. But I think 18 might be a little early. I think he was in the 20s.
It could be like 23 or 22 maybe, but 18 was the number. I'll stick with that.
2002 NFL draft.
I know he went first round.
I think it was a first rounder too. I don't know how we got off on this, but I like it.
There it is.
If I pull 18,
all right, so
I'm
go.
stud.
So there's John Henderson.
Dante Stallworth.
Oh, there's 18. You
was
didn't
wrong.
get it. So
Fuck.
keep going. It might not be 2002. It might be the next year. Oh God, 24.
I think it's not this draft.
Toledo Shepard.
All right, we're gonna need you to pull 2000.
Honestly, this is just I think just typing in Matt Jones would be faster.
Matt Jones NFL draft.
It'll say where he got picked pretty quick.
Yeah.
I feel like it could have been a little later than that.
Well, the draft was me. I said 2002, so I was probably
I feel
wrong.
like it could even be like 5.
03 or 04. It wasn't 05. Because he was definitely playing for that 7-0
The fall 01, I'm still kind of scarred from that one.
Oh, that was great.
That was one of the great, yeah.
You idiots went 7 overtimes with Arkansas.
Didn't he end up going to jail?
Yeah, cocaine. Right? He was a big cocaine guy.
2005.
Fuck,
Wow.
20.
You're right, 2005. You had that, but pick
I was
21.
off by 3 picks. All right, it was close.
21. Pretty good, pretty solid. F.
38.
What? 38 what?
38 years
Oh, yeah, he shouldn't be 38.
Only played in the league
ridiculous.
for like 3 years.
Oh,
I know, how do people like that age?
He shouldn't. And then the Bengals over the Titans.
9 sacks, and you win.
Everything we said about the game last night with the quarterbacks, the opposite is true with the Tennessee Titans.
Yep.
Every time a losing play had to be made, Ryan Tannehill raised his hand and said, I'll go lose the game for you. Put me in, coach. And I know the interception, which can't throw that ball in a triple coverage. Can't do it. Awful. That whole last drive, there was no urgency. They were just kind of stagnant.
None.
They weren't led at all. But the 3rd and 1 play, you talk about Kansas City's 3rd and 1. The worst 3rd and 1 play of the weekend was them calling a read option with Derrick Henry and fucking Ryan Tannehill, and Ryan Tannehill keeping because Derrick Henry had it. He had one guy in the middle of the hole. He was going to handle that, no problem. When Tannehill kept that ball, I said, these Titans are going to lose. That was egregious. And then they ran it on 4th down, just a straight run with Derrick Henry it went nowhere. Every time they had to make a losing play, they made it.
He shows he goes from being one of the worst quarterbacks of all time to showing that was a really good throw.
He gets to
AJ Brown throw.
The throw to AJ Brown was phenomenal.
That's what I'm saying.
touchdown.
And you're like, what the
dime.
fuck? And then he just throws a really stupid throw. It's like, oh, that's Tannehill.
I even tweeted, I think that might be the prettiest passing catch I've ever seen. 'Cause
Unbelievable.
AJ Brown just and credit to AJ Brown, who I hate. AJ Brown didn't react, just let it cradle in there and made the most beautiful catch. Made an incredibly hard catch look very simple. But
Yeah, just in his hip pocket. I mean, literally.
No, literally just.
It was like catching a handoff, like taking a handoff.
still not easy to just catch a ball
Oh no,
with
not
one
at all.
hand.
No,
Yeah.
not at all.
But it was.
But just the throw, even when they played it back, just all the Bengals jerseys around, where he threw the ball, it was the guy had great coverage on him, he made a good play, getting his hand out front, tapping it up. But there's 3 Bengals surrounding him too. That play never had a prayer.
Never, and there was a guy. There was a guy running wide open in the middle of the field, and the fact that I think there were 23 seconds left when they snapped the ball. They got it back with a minute left, I think, and they just dicked around and let the time go. And then he finally, I think thought he had to force it, and he forced it, and they lose the game. You get the ball back with a minute left in a tie game. That game either has to go to overtime or you win. That can be the only 2 outcomes. You can't introduce a loss in that scenario, and Tannehill did it.
You just can't force that ball at midfield like that.
No, because even if you eat it, take a sack. Well, first of all, throw it to the open guy. But even if you eat it, take a sack. You punt, you go to overtime.
Yeah,
You're at home. And he did the one thing. And Joe Burrow just inevitable? I mean,
I said he'd just take over the world part 2.
I mean,
we're just a part of it.
I think everyone's going through a little bit of Chiefs fatigue right now,
Yeah.
especially with Mahomes' family. I mean, we didn't even talk about his wife. What? Brittany Beverly,
Right.
fucking declaring bukkake all over the peasants.
Was that his
below.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
That's his
Or his
chick.
fiance.
Yeah, that's baby mama.
Like, are you kidding me?
What?
They don't
I
have
mean,
a kid.
they have a kid.
Yeah,
They have a
they
girl.
have a
Yeah, they have a girl.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love TikTok. Marty just knew that immediately.
Just
yeah.
can you imagine being at a game like below freezing and just getting hit from above with something wet, and imagine being the quarterback's wife?
I think Chiefs fans in that moment would sign up for that every time.
Probably, but I mean, come on.
Yeah, if you're a bleacher creature and you're sitting there and it's cold and you just won that game and you saw it, hell yeah. Champagne, baby. I think the Chiefs fans would, but I didn't know that was his wife. I saw that and I was like,
I don't think they're married yet.
okay, fiance, whatever,
yeah.
or baby mama, as you say.
Yeah.
They're engaged, I'm pretty sure.
Didn't know they had a kid.
But that being said about Burrow, I wanted him to win. I want the Bengals to win. I think they get smoked.
I do too.
It
I
reminds me.
hate-
It
I
reminds me.
hate that they just beat them.
So 2 years ago, and it's different because obviously the Titans ran on Henry's back, but the Titans beat the Chiefs late in the season 2 years ago in like a thriller, like the Bengals just did to the Chiefs at home, and then they got to the AFC title game and got. I feel like this is.
Now I'll say
I hope
this.
I'm wrong. I mean, I hope Cincy.
Yeah, the line is Chiefs already.
Oh my god,
7.
I'm petrified of the line.
We're
Burrow and
hours,
Chase, though.
we're hours removed from Josh Allen and Gabriel Davis hooking up for 200 yards and 4 touchdowns. So Josh Allen's great. Gabriel Davis, So if that happened, I mean, Joe Burrow's walking in there with Jamar Chase and T. Higgins and weapons.
Mixon.
This Kansas City defense just showed they can give up yards. I think Kansas City's probably going to smoke them, but
Dude, they give up yards against Josh Allen playing like Josh Allen. They've been playing fucking great defense since halfway through the year when they were playing historically awful defense.
Chase
the
had
first
266 and 3 TDs in the first game. I mean, he freaking just.
Besides that game.
what was that noise? Sorry about that.
But
Just
the
made a sex
Cincy
noise.
right side, the O-line, though, against Frank Clark and Jones, that Cincy O-line was rough on Saturday.
Yeah,
No,
so-
I fear it's another.
I feel like
Chiefs Super Bowl.
it's a line where it's a hard 7 where like America's gonna want to jump on the Bengals just because they just don't want the Chiefs to win, and then the Chiefs just win by like 2 touchdowns.
I don't get the sense of Chiefs hatred that you guys get.
I don't think it's hatred. I think it's fatigue.
I don't think it's fatigue. I think
Dude, you see Joe Burrow and Chase and like this new great like organization. They haven't made the second round of the playoffs in 30
Burrow's
years.
that-
like,
Burrow's
you want to see him
so much
succeed.
more likable too.
But the Chiefs have only won one Super Bowl. I mean, like it's not like this is the Patriots.
This is their 4th straight
this is
AFC
what-
championship.
but
This
this
will be
is-
their 3rd straight Super Bowl.
This is what America does. We build people up, we break them down to rebuild them. I think this is where we want to break them down. They're probably not going to happen because they're probably just.
I'm
gonna win the
personally
Super
not
Bowl, but-
fatigued by the Chiefs.
I'm clearly
We
not.
don't like when people succeed too
Yes,
much.
exactly.
We don't like LeBron. Like
Bama, Patriots.
We should appreciate LeBron. We should appreciate fucking like Patrick Mahomes. We don't like that. We'd
But
like them to fail.
I think we need to let them achieve that before we treat them like they've achieved it. They've only won one Super Bowl.
You got
it's just more that
but
they're there.
this will be the 3rd straight year that they're there.
That's
It
fine.
should be 4.
That's fine. But
If they make it.
Do you think there's any chance they don't get the Super Bowl?
I mean, I certainly think the Chiefs are going to beat the Bengals. If I had to pick an underdog this week, I would probably lean 49ers. But
There's a chance, though.
Of
Love
course,
the
there's a
Niners.
chance, 1,000%. But I think it actually hurts the
Burrow
Bengals.
might just be touched. Like he might just be touched
Yeah.
by some
I
sort of.
think that-
Yeah, he might.
You guys aren't tired about everyone just blowing Patrick Mahomes?
No, he's
Well,
great.
I am.
He is great.
great.
He is great.
I'm
But I mean,
sorry.
Josh
Touchdowns.
Allen was just as great last night. And Tony Romo said,
I thought
and
he was
I
better.
quote, and I quote, only Patrick Mahomes can lead him down the field in 30 seconds.
I
think everyone blew
Josh Allen
Josh
was
Allen.
better
right.
last night. No, I wouldn't say even. He was better.
I would say it was even. They both had. I think
He made more difficult throws.
Mahomes ended up with 388 and 3 touchdowns. Josh Allen was 313 and 4.
Both
Matt
ran a bunch,
Stafford
too.
throws dime sidearm just as much as Patrick Mahomes or more, and every single time Patrick Mahomes does it, you think it's
That's a fact.
fucking come
I
fest.
guess, but that
From
fucking
Patrick
throw.
Mahomes.
Turns the ball over.
It's awesome. It's a great
But you
throw,
even
but
see
you
one-
want-
ones-
On more.
But I'm saying you even see ones that go viral of like Zach Wilson doing that, and it like throws that he made.
You
up.
two are the people that don't like seeing people succeed.
Guys, it's
this
Patrick
guy
Mahomes.
has
He's
been great.
He's
no,
been
no,
great.
No. That's not. But I'm saying it's just a fact. Like you see it where when Mahomes does certain things that other people can do, we act like no one else on the planet.
Kansas
can
City
do
got
it.
the ball. It was 7-0. Kansas City got the ball last night in the first drive. Patrick Mahomes made 4 Patrick Mahomes plays. He made 4 plays where he escaped. That first one, that little flip to Hardman. Where
Oh no, running. He's
yeah,
he's
get out.
unbelievable.
He's
scrambling.
unbelievable.
No one. They got like decent pressure at times, and they just couldn't get a hold of him.
Can you fix your strings?
What's wrong with him?
They have infuriating me. Thank you.
Better?
Yep.
Sorry.
No problem. That really needed to happen.
Did you take your string out?
Yeah.
Okay. I need to take my string out, too.
It's a shame because Patrick Mahomes does deserve like a lot of credit.
You're the one driving this bus.
I'm not driving the bus.
driving
I'm
the bus.
on the
Marty, is
bus.
he driving
I'm
the
not
bus?
driving
Both
the
of
bus.
them are driving the bus.
Honestly,
Y'all driving
no.
together.
Honestly,
You're like
for
Sandra
me-
Bullock and Keanu Reeves
Big
in
F
Speed.
driving the bus.
Honestly, for me,
You
somehow
think they get that reference?
They need to get that reference.
What?
I don't think they do.
Keanu Reeves, Sandra Bullock and
That
Speed.
movie's 30 years old.
No.
Fuck. No, y'all should get that reference. That's a.
you said the
God
movie's
damn it.
30. We're not even 30.
That was a good reference.
For us old fucks.
I got it.
Yeah.
I got
It's a good movie.
I did not get it. no.
Fucking Dennis Hopper's been dead for a
Guy,
decade
I
now.
haven't seen the movie.
Dennis Hopper puts a bomb in a bus and it says if the bus drops below 50, I'm going to blow it up. It's going to blow up.
What's the movie called?
Speed.
No.
Just haven't
Wait,
seen
is that the Coke one?
No, that's Coke. That's
Got it.
Blow.
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 Blow, great
Yeah,
movie.
that's what I've seen that
Seen
one.
Blow, great
Good
movie.
You're right. You picked up on this. But you guys are driving the bus.
No, at some point last night during the stream, I've never been this Mahomes hater. I think just trolling Mincy.
Oh,
I
God.
just
That
felt
was
this
really
little-
funny.
This little tingling feeling inside me that now I don't know, something came over me that I like hate Patrick Mahomes. It happened.
That was really
in
funny.
the last 15 hours. I don't know what happened. I just now I want him to lose everything. Partly I had a very large wager on the Bills that if I would have had an all-time day if the Bills had pulled that off.
Back in the race. You fought
I don't know
a
how
three-way
it
battle.
went down. I had a great day yesterday.
I did well. That would have, but somehow something came over me because then it just was funny. I kept leaning into it because I called him basically. I said Patrick Mahomes was a kind of a bitch, but that was a gambling me just because the over was in jeopardy and he wasn't throwing the ball down the field. I was like, take a deep shot, and then when I said it, Mincy had a seizure, and then so then I leaned.
Egregious take.
So then I leaned into it and kept calling him Patty checkdowns. Which from the point I said that, I don't think he threw a ball more than 15 yards down the field.
I know I said earlier that the most heartbreaking way to lose a game is to come back and then lose, but I guess when your team hasn't gone to a Super Bowl in 30 years and you have your once-in-a-lifetime quarterback and you're on the road and you score a touchdown with 13 seconds left and all you got to do is defend for 13 seconds and you lose that game, that might be more heartbreaking.
The Bills are America's team.
Yeah.
I
That's
don't
part
see
of it,
that
too.
either. I don't
I
agree
do.
with that. I
I
think
do.
it's Barstool's team because Dave likes him or something. How's it America's team?
Because people like just the jumping through tables, drunk, blue collar, just.
I think
cold,
that's a
like-
Northeast thing. I don't think outside of the Northeast, I don't think anybody gives a fuck about the Bills. I really don't.
No, I think they're the most rootable team out there.
That's what I'm saying. They're just so likable.
What's up?
That's Brandon Marshall.
How are you, Brandon?
I'm good.
They're just such like.
He's
but everything
awesome.
about them is like they're just like the lovable underdogs. Like they've never been there. In the '90s, they lost 4 Super Bowls in a row.
By the way, you guys didn't live through that.
No.
But the Buffalo Bills of the early 90s not winning a Super Bowl remains one of the most amazing things that's ever happened in sports. Thurman Thomas, Jim Kelly, Andre Reed,
Giants,
Don Beebe.
Washington, Cowboys twice.
Cornelius Bennett,
The-
Bruce
Cornelius
Smith,
Bennett.
The
Bruce
NFC
Smith.
East
The one
left
they
them.
should have won was they
John
should
Beebe.
The Giants won.
they should have beat the Giants.
Yeah.
They should have beat the Giants.
My
It was a
dad was-
47-yard field goal
My dad was there.
in Tampa,
He was there with my grandpa. Crazy.
but that was awesome. But
He's cool, man. I keep staring. He's a cool guy.
Yeah, he is. They have a big.
you let a
podcast.
famous guy walk in here, Marty's.
No, Brandon Marshall, his podcast is great.
Yeah,
Is it?
huge?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a huge
it's really
podcast. I think it's called.
They just yell at each other about like who's the best receiver. Like Ocho Cinco would go like nuts
Yeah,
on them.
I think it's
It's
called I
fucking
Am
awesome.
Athlete. I believe.
Really, I haven't seen it. I haven't
I've
heard
seen
it.
it on YouTube. It's very good. I like.
Is
it.
Ocho Cinco on it?
I think most of the time
Most
he is.
of the
I
time,
think.
yeah.
I love him.
I mean, he's
Ocho Cinco was getting out with somebody talking shit about Jalen Hurts of the Eagles, and he said he'd come to Philly and shove cheesesteaks down his face right now, and he would. That's
No,
the
he
point.
would absolutely get on a
would.
plane and do
he
it.
is the
He's a guy too that I think that a lot of people didn't like him when he was in the league, and I think now outside the league, people realize. I think he genuinely was misunderstood.
I think he was the first, maybe one of the first.
He's a little post-concussed.
But I think he was one of the first GOAT athletes on Twitter. One of the first guys to really embrace Twitter. And,
Yeah, that
and-
too.
yeah, and he has been the athlete that he eats McDonald's.
Yeah.
and he never got hurt. Ocho Cinco.
He showed up to HQ
Ever.
too, just unannounced to play FIFA.
Yeah,
I
he
was like,
did.
oh, okay, yeah, it's awesome.
I also noticed he shows a lot of love to like the younger athletes too. Like he's very into like picking like the young receivers who he's really into and stuff.
He fed Nate in 2011.
What?
Nate was working as like a barista here in New York, all broke, and on one of the 90th Street or something. Chad Ochocinco just said, "Oh, anybody comes here in the next hour gets a free meal." Nate showed up, got a free meal from Ochocinco.
Wow, that's cool.
That is cool.
He used to just drive around cities and be like, "Who wants to play FIFA? I'll play anybody." He showed up to my cousin's house in Queens and just beat them all.
He tips a lot too. That's a big thing. He's just he's not a bad guy. He's a good guy.
So we got Bengals +7 at the Chiefs.
Also, him just texting coaches in the middle of the night saying he's
I'm open. Yeah.
That's fucking great.
So funny, bro.
I thought he called him. He called him at 2:30 in the morning.
Hugh Jackson on that podcast. He talked about he was like he literally would call me at 3 in the morning and just say I'm open and hang up.
That's so fucking funny, bro.
Bengals +7 at the Chiefs. Niners +3.5 at the Rams. I think we all anticipate maybe a Chiefs-Rams Super Bowl here, but who throws a monkey?
I don't know.
I don't know. Niners have won 6 in a row.
Yeah,
Niners.
And they've pretty much all been on the road.
Rams are going to be the heavy public play.
They are.
No? They're just
I'm curious because they're just that the Niners beat them twice. I'm very curious the way the people take that.
Do you think, this is kind of a stupid question, but not really, do you think Odell on the Packers would have resurged them?
Maybe could have used another weapon.
Yeah, I think he would have helped, but
Definitely would have helped. But
I still think Aaron Rodgers kind of has a way to figure out how to lose in the playoffs. And we don't talk about it because he's so great in the regular season, but Aaron Rodgers figures out how to lose in the playoffs.
So does Sean McVay.
it is going to be really annoying this offseason.
Well, he's been to a Super Bowl, though.
Early consensus.
And what did he do? And how did he get there?
Well, okay, he got there by the Saints getting fucked, but I mean,
And he didn't score a touchdown.
but Shanahan's been to one Super Bowl and lost, and McVay, they went back-to-back Super Bowls, they both lost.
Shanahan, a little less talent, a little more of a chance.
I like the Niners.
I kind of like the Niners
Also,
too, especially
didn't we-
second half momentum. I mean, you can't trust the Rams. You just can't trust
Also,
them.
last
Niners
year-
going to come and give you
You're
their
driving a
A-game.
lot of buses today.
No, I'm not driving. I only have my license. Grumpy Gills.
No
I'm not
CDL
grumpy
for
Gills.
Mincy.
You came in here all grumpy. I
I'm
had to
not
cheer
grumpy.
you up.
Whatever.
Didn't we debunk last year the thing about how it's hard to beat a team 3 times? Like, isn't it actually you win the
Bucs
third
Saints
one?
was tough.
Yeah, but I'm saying like going into that, like, isn't it like statistically more often you win?
Yeah,
I
no,
don't think we're capable of debunking anything. We're not good. I don't think we're good debunkers.
We did
I don't think
actually
I've
have
ever
this
used that word
conversation.
before.
Can we
Debunk
just
the stats disagree.
Yeah,
now.
can we
Yeah.
disagree with the 4 teams left? Last night was actually the Super Bowl, probably.
It very well could have been.
Bills Chiefs felt like the AFC title game at minimum.
I still think
minimum.
the
Let me
way
tell you something. It's Bengals 49ers. I'm not going to be that excited.
I would
love
love
it.
that. I would fucking
love it.
love that.
I would
Yeah.
love
You know
that.
what?
I got a
It's
Bengals
a
18-1
wild card
ticket.
Super Bowl.
It's also an 80s throwback.
88.
The 2 of them, actually. The Bengals have been to 2 Super Bowls, and they lost to the 49ers both times. So
You're
it would
telling
be
me
It's not necessarily a Cincinnati
publicly-
thing. It's a Joe Burrow thing.
I
Joe
love
Burrow in the
Joe
Super Bowl
Burrow.
would be incredible.
I love Joe Burrow. It's more the 49ers for me. I want, like, I think publicly you don't think everyone wants Chiefs Rams?
That shootout the Monday night, 54-56.
NFL wants Chiefs Rams.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think Chiefs Rams is
Especially
probably what we're going
it's
to
in
get.
LA.
But
Yeah.
I don't like.
Burrow's awesome. That's the only draw for me. I love him and Jamar Chase.
He's so young. It's almost like you got to earn it a little bit first. You got to feel the pain before you actually get there.
Well, it's
To
like
the promised
it's like
land.
Dan Marino. His second year, he got to the Super Bowl,
Yeah.
lost, and we assumed he'd get back a lot. He never did. So I mean, you got to get there when you can get there, and it does feel like they're at the beginning of their building. They're at the beginning, like with Chase and with Higgins.
You want to talk about best receiver in the NFL? And we didn't even mention Chase. He might be there year 1.
He's close. He's real good. He's certainly he might be the most explosive. Just as far as you get, not outside of Tyreek Hill, obviously, but you get Jamar Chase on a 9-yard slant, it can be 90 in a heartbeat, and he looks like he's running so easy.
The fact he's in a conversation in his rookie years.
Yeah,
is
no,
almost-
you never
real.
see rookies. Yeah.
All right,
especially wide receivers.
picks. Smitty has quietly closed the gap.
Well, I kind of blew it. But
Oh, look at that.
Well, first of all,
Ev's the one that too.
and you're and
Look
the-
at Megan making money. She's still in play.
I mean, Mintz, your record in your units is ridiculous. It's just ridiculous.
Well, I mean, yeah.
All right, so I've been awful. Marty's been awful.
Real bad.
16 games over 500.
I'm in that mode where my good days are 2-2.
Yeah, look at Big Ev's record and look at Smitty and
Yeah. Well, Big
Well,
Ev's.
I mean-
I'm just out here just hitting 2 UFC plays yesterday.
What do you
or
got?
2 days
You-
ago.
that run you have, that-
NHL parlays, baby.
have the
Bucks
UFC
plus
run
50.
Sick
and a lot-
Saturday
and-
props,
and
man.
most of those props didn't even count. I didn't like
Mintz.
play those as like plays.
Mintz.
Picks.
Yes.
All right, yeah, I'm taking Carolina on a bounce back after that disaster week they had by 4.5 at home against Virginia Tech. I'm taking Texas Tech +7 at Kansas and USC to smack a bad Arizona State team.
fuck.
Smitty.
Same thing, UNC.
Oh no!
Okay, I mean, it's a good play. What are you going to do?
Fuck.
Love the Cavs, -6 at home against the Knicks, coming off a win. And a nice little money line. I'll probably add more.
Big F.
I'm on UNC also. I have UNC minus
It's a
4.5.
great play.
I'm an Ole Miss plus 5.5 at home against Florida. Even Ole Miss has literally burnt me every time
Why
I
are they
bet
playing on a
against them.
Monday?
I'm giving them one more shot. And I like Texas Tech. I just think they're deep as hell. I think 7's way too many against Kansas. I'm on Texas Tech. Maybe I'll add more later. I'll tweet them out, but this is what I'm on right now.
I'm gonna tweet mine out later.
Marty, okay.
Mine are I struggled this morning. Do your picks real fast. I gotta ask one thing.
My picks are I got to see them because I got one. Kansas Tech under 139, Pelicans -2, and I got Knicks +6 against the Cavs. So I'm going the opposite. Did I?
You never go against the Cavs.
Hold on. Did I send you the wrong thing?
Take my GPS bet tonight. It's going to be.
Hey, that's been doing pretty good.
No.
going for four in a row.
I'm following the line movement. The Knicks, it opened at 7.5 and it's down to 6. So
Really?
that's my thing. I've been following line movement in NBA. Although I've had a rough go of NBA lately, but I think my record's still okay.
GPS tonight is Mitchell and Booker 25+, but the Texas Tech +7 against Kansas. That seems like we're such suckers, I feel like, because I'm on Texas Tech as well. I think Texas Tech is one of the best teams in the country. They already beat Kansas without their best player. They have their best player tonight.
I thought the same thing, but I'm powering through it. There's been a few other spots in the Big 12 I felt the same way, and they've came through like what you thought with that same mindset. So I just believe in Texas Tech.
I do too.
All right. So crazy weekend. We'll have more later. Whatever. That guy looks just like you. That milkshake is wonderful.
I'd love a milkshake.
They got a Fruity Pebble milkshake at Del Mar's in Manhattan, Mississippi to die for.
I might play San Fran to win the Super Bowl right now, plus 450.
Do it.
Ugh.
Fucking
I believe
do
in
it.
them.
Look at that's the boys right there. He's a little more handsome than you. That's okay. And Ben Mintz is out of here.
Where are you going?
All right. Yeah, 'cause up next.